What is good, YouTube? Back at it, man. It's been a while since I've been on here, but appreciate those who are tuning in, who will be checking us out, man. We should be having some more people coming up shortly. Just setting out some stuff, trying to get some technical difficulties worked out with some people. But I do got my man here, Lewis, with me, man. Always a pleasure to be talking to my boy about football. How you doing today, bro?
Doing good. Honored you having me on. Appreciate you. Let's talk some ball, man. Super Mighty Mouse Lou, my sports TikTok. You guys already know. Let's get right to it, man.
Yes, sir. So, this guys, for those who tuning in, this is a Miami Dolphins podcast. So, I only have Dolphin fans who will be coming up for today's episode. The NFL/NBA episode will be tomorrow if you all are curious about that. So, I have more people on there for sure. But today we dedicate this. That today we're going to dedicate this to the Dolphins fans, and it's something I feel like I want to get into because, truth be told, I'm not really big on a lot of the Dolphin media that's out there right now, but that's another story for another day. So we're gonna jump right into the topics, though, man. I got five major topics I want to touch on, but I do want to discuss the big news first and foremost. And the two biggest stories we got right now, as Lewis and I both know, we were just discussing. Xavier Howard and Emmanuel Ogbah both are set to be released by the team before the start of the new season in June. So I'm gonna get your thoughts, Lewis, and let me know what you think of these moves and whether or not you think there was moves that you thought was inevitable or they could have been avoided.
I thought, well, first when Ogba got his extension, it was kind of like when Ogba had his good season, we were really on a downward slump at the time, or trying to make our way back up. And I guess it was kind of like smoke and mirrors. Like we kind of got spoiled a little bit because we sucked for so long, and we finally had a decent, a good player. And then so when Ogba got signed, I didn't have a problem with it. And then it wasn't until he got paid, his production started going down, and then he got hurt. Just wasn't the same player after that. So I knew that that move was inevitable. Xavier Howard, that it hurts a little bit because X was always that bright spot for us Dolphins fans that kept
Right.
us some hope. You know what I'm saying? But as we all know, at the especially at the cornerback position, you get older, you get slower, injuries start to rack up. He's just not the same player he once was. Like he's getting cooked on a lot of plays. He's not the same man-to-man corner he once was, like coming out of college. I don't know. I don't know if you agree, last word, but I feel like his hands have gotten worse too. Like he's dropped a
Yeah,
lot of
I
games.
feel like his ball skills definitely got worse. Definitely.
It's just not the same. So I always love X. I'll always be a big X fan. Always be one of my favorite Dolphins players of all time. But I mean, it's the NFL, bro. Sometimes you got to know when it's time to move on, bro. And honestly, it, honestly, I mean, you said it yourself. We have a small window right now to try to be great, and unfortunately, this is one of the moves where we had to do if we want to be great.
Right. And
So
I agree with everything you said, bro, because I think a lot of people, because when I be looking at some of these Dolphin pages and I listen to some of the media outlets and stuff, they'll say things like, you know, X was one of your more consistent players. You're gonna have to replace him, things of that nature, which is fine. But the problem is X has been on the decline for about 2 years now, and it wasn't getting better. That's the issue. And
yeah,
he was going to cost you almost 26 million next season, and that's just not worth it at this point. And I think
facts.
that's what it came down to ultimately for anything else. Like, is he worth the extension you gave him back when he was a potential DPOY player of the year? And he's just not that player no more. And the thing is, it's nothing against X because Father Time is undefeated. He's 30 now. He's getting up there in age. He's not going to get any younger. His knees, his ankle injuries aren't going to, the hamstring injury now, it's not going to get any better.
I
So
agree.
they had to prioritize what they could do to be at their very best the next season because, like you just alluded to, and I've been saying this for a while, like this is it. Like if next season doesn't result in somewhat of a successful season from the standpoint of the postseason success, there is no excusing anyone at that point, whether it's Mike McDaniel, whether it's Chris Greer, whether it's Tua. Hell, whether it's Steven Ross at this point, everyone is going to get the blame, as they should, because the team is too talented. And unfortunately for Xavier Howard, he was on the back half of his career, and he is now at a point where he's going to be serviceable somewhere, but he's not going to be that Pro Bowl, All Pro caliber corner he was at one point. That's just not him anymore. So I don't see why people were so upset about him being released. And the Emmanuel Ogbah thing, I thought that was inevitable. I didn't think anyone should question that. I mean, this dude was a healthy scratch for, I think, 2 weeks before Chubb went down, and they had to put him back in the lineup.
Yeah.
And even when he was back in the lineup, when they went and got Bruce Irvin and Bruce Smith to play in the playoffs, he literally wasn't a starter. It was Bruce Irvin and it was Melvin Ingram. So at some point, you wasted money giving this guy $18 million, and he can't even start over guys who you literally signed off the streets. So of course they were going to let him go. I don't see why people were so not outraged, but I don't get why people was like somewhat confused on these moves. Like, you're clearing up almost 35 million cutting both of them. Like, why not? It just makes no sense.
And on top of that, I think we also have to take into account too, when it comes to a guy like Emmanuel Ogbah on the defensive line, I think people also got to count the defensive coordinator we signed, Byron Weaver. This is a man who had Baltimore #1 in sacks and had him the ranked #1 defensive line in the league. So I'm willing to trust him. Cutting Emmanuel Ogbah is going to have us take that next step on the defensive line. I'm not going to question him because you led an amazing unit last year in Baltimore. Actually, you've led them quite a few times to be a great defensive unit. So I'm not too mad about it. It's like what I was telling you last, where Emmanuel Ogbah was one of the bright spots in the Brian Flores days, and a lot of people they got smoked. They got smoked by Emmanuel Ogbah being a decent player at the time. If we look back at the roster, aside from X, he was a good player by Dolphin standards. But now it's like, bro, you're holding us back.
Right, and I think that's what it came down to, is you trying to improve instantly, and you have to improve from those two guys right now. And I'm glad you mentioned it. You mentioned Anthony Weaver. Just give me your thoughts on that signing, like a little bit more, like what you thought about it or what you think about it now since it happened.
I have faith. The reason I have faith, and first of all, it seems like he wants to be here because the stuff that I read about Anthony Weaver, he was a head coaching candidate for a couple of teams. He was a finalist. And I'm pretty sure before the Commanders signed Dan Quinn, they were heavily looking at Anthony Weaver. So at least it's not like Vic Fangio. He actually wants to be in Miami, and I can see immediately he's already making moves. The main thing that I'm excited about, though, it's like I see him and Mike McDaniel being the yin and yang. And you already know one of the main problems I had last year was not having an adult in the locker room. Like Mike McDaniel always trying to, dap people up, be everybody's friend, be chill, whatever. I saw when we signed Anthony Weaver, immediately like felt like an adult in the locker room. Like we gonna step on people's necks, like everybody gonna get put in check. Like he's gonna be the guy that's gonna light the fire under this team, once we, if we ever go down at halftime or whatever. So I trust him. I feel like he's gonna be an adult in the locker room. I feel like this defense, I'm excited for the defensive line. And I heard we're gonna franchise tag Christian Wilkins, so we can actually see what Wilkins gonna do with Anthony Weaver, which I'm excited about. But I'm looking forward, and I'm looking forward to the draft too, because Baltimore with Anthony Weaver there, they drafted some gems, especially on that D line. And he knows how to bring in people from free agency for this D line. So I'm excited.
Right. I do agree with you on the defensive line aspect of him, like getting the best out of his guys and things of that nature. I do agree with that. What I'm a little skeptical on, and I'd rather just hold my reserves and I'd rather be surprised than disappointed at this point. Because the thing with Anthony Weaver, the last time, I know a lot of people don't remember this, but the last time we seen him in a DC role, he was not good. And I was back in 2018, I believe, with the Texans. The Texans had a bottom 5 off defense, that year. And it was so bad to the point that mid-season they switched from a 4-3 to a 3-4 concept. That tells me that the coordinator just trying to figure some shit out. That he don't know what the hell to do. And whether you want to chuck that up to him having lesser talent or the game plans not working in his favor, or whatever case may be, I still think coaching plays a role in that because it's still up to the coaching to put the players in the best position to succeed. And the
Right.
reason that I'm somewhat worried about it as well is not just the fact that he wasn't successful as a DC in his short stint with the Texans, but the Ravens had a chance to promote him and they didn't. And to
Yeah.
me, that tells me that maybe this guy not really, even though John Harbaugh, excuse me, he could go up on the stage and he could talk all good about he wanted about Anthony Weaver for the longest he wants until he turned blue in the face. But when it came down to him, he had a chance to extend him and promote him, he didn't. So
Right.
to me, that says a lot about a guy. And I'm not saying that he's going to be bad at the job. I'm not saying he's going to be even terrible at the job. But what I am saying is I'm holding my reserves until I actually see the product because
Right.
the guy isn't going to just be bypassed by 2-3 teams and there isn't something that we're missing. Like if you're really fantastic at what you do, 2-3 jobs ain't gonna just bypass you. That I don't look at it that way.
Right.
Now again, maybe they just have someone better, or maybe he's just not the guy that I believe him to be. Well, I think he could be, I should say. So we'll see. We'll see for sure.
I mean, shit. Hopefully, some shit shakes. We have so much talent everywhere. We just need we just need to utilize it, man.
Yeah,
Just need to
this
utilize it.
talent is definitely there. That's not the
Like,
issue.
never in a million years did I think as a Dolphins fan we would have Jalen Ramsey. And like now
Oh,
we're at a point where
that took me by surprise too when we got Jay Ram. But
I didn't think that was gonna happen.
yeah, you were not wrong about that one. I ain't gonna lie. But another topic I wanted us to discuss is well, I'm not sure if the audience is aware or not, but about a couple days ago, Mike Tannenbaum had posted a hypothetical trade between the Texans and excuse me and the Dolphins, and essentially the trade was just a player for player trade. It was Jalen Waddle for Trent McDuffie. So I just want to get your thoughts on the trade and what you, if that was a real trade, do you think that's a trade the Dolphins should go ahead and do, or is it something that they should just not even consider?
Hell yeah! You mean to tell me we have a chance to get two top five corners in the league on the same team? Yes, yes. We got Ramsey locking down on what we saw when Ramsey came back healthy last year. He locked down one side. Trent McDuffie is the best slot corner in the league. So I mean, that makes sense to me. And on top of that, this receiver class is so deep that we can replace Jalen Waddle. Well, not replace him because he's an amazing talent, but we can fill that position with somebody else with how
Right.
deep it is. So if that trade were to go down, shit, sign me up. I'll do it.
Yeah, and I pretty much agree, man. I'm one of my homeboys who he'll supposed to be jumping on the pod soon, but me and him was actually talking about it the other day when we seen it, and when we was talking about it, he was saying that he would have traded Waddle, and I said why? Because he said he feel as if basically Waddle got the next couple years to be the guy because Tyreek probably done after the next season, the season after next, because he
Yep.
said he was going to retire after his he played out his contract with the Dolphins. But my thing was, I was telling him, I said, I get that, bro, but at the same time, let's just call it, let's just keep it real and just call it a spade for the sake of argument. Jalen Waddle has not been the player that we thought he was going to be. He just hasn't. That's not to say he's not a good player, because I think Jalen Waddle's a good player. He has 3
Yep.
consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, but it is to say when you had a chance to draft Jamar Chase and Penei Sewell and you did it, that's to say to me a little bit that it was more talent and meat on the bones that you didn't take advantage of, in my opinion. And with that being the case, I firmly believe if you can
Kyle
trade
Pitts on the
Jalen
board
Waddle,
too. I remember Kyle Pitts on the board too.
yeah, Kyle Pitts, yep, and it
Yep.
was someone else I forgot, Micah Parsons. There we go. But anyway, if you can have a chance to go out and get a first team all pro corner to help improve your defense, who you just now recently lost your number 2 corner, and you
Yep.
get to replace him with another legitimate corner in this league, I don't see why not pull the plug. And the reason being is the big part of that is what you just said. Like, bro, it's been as easy as it's ever been in the league the last 3-4 years to find receiver talent in the draft.
Hmm.
Like quite easy. Like look at some of the guys that done went late round. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nakua, DK Metcalf was a day 2 pick.
Mhm.
Who else? Tank Dell. Like you got guys who consistently in each draft, you got one or two, maybe sometimes even three receivers who come in and they actually can put up the same kind of production. And that's not to say that they're the same capable player, but it is to say that they can replace the production and give you good targets and good reps. And in my opinion, that's something that Jalen Waddle does for you now. But at the end of the day, if you can replace X with another top corner, and you could possibly replace Waddle with another young good receiver who can give you a chance to rewrite your receiver market because you already got one receiver making 30 million.
Yeah,
You extend Jalen Waddle, he might be making 20, 25.
right.
So your receiver room alone between two guys might cost you 60 million. So you got to think about all of those things and take them into consideration, in my opinion. So I wouldn't have a problem with them trading Waddle, but if it is for McDuffie, I would do it without hesitation. I'm not gonna lie.
If it's for McDuffie, you got to do it. You know, it'll make our defense hell of a lot better. And on top of that, if realistically, if we change Jalen Waddle, is the offense realistically going to change? Because Tua's just going to do the one read of Tyreek, and if it's not there, we just got to live what happens next.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what, and then that's pretty much what the offense is, man. It's and this gonna be. I know this gonna be unpopular, but this I feel like I need to say this because a lot of people are getting this stigma that our receivers are bad or they outside of Waddle and Tyreek they aren't anything. I strongly disagree with that,
I do.
and it bothers me when people say that because it tells me that they're just looking at the numbers and they're not actually turning the games on and watching them. Because these guys simply put are not getting the chance. A guy can't produce with 2-3 targets a game. It's not going to happen. I don't know
Right.
what kind of fantasy world these people live in who be watching these games, but Braxton Berrios can't give you 50, 60 yards a game if he's getting 2 targets. It's not happening. I don't know what the hell they think is going to happen. It's not. Like, if you want the other receivers to be productive, they need to get their reps and numbers called. That's it.
It's the
That's
same
what
thing
it
with
comes
Cedric
down to.
Wilson. I've seen that there was like 5 deep balls, two through to Cedric Wilson, 50-50, and he caught all of them. Like he could make
Exactly.
plays,
So
but
I'm like, and I told somebody, I was like, bro, Cedric Wilson is a capable receiver. I'm not saying he could be your number two or something like that. But if you need him to get you 3 to 5 catches a game, about 40, 50 yards a game, he can do that. That's not hard for him. Like he's a
Cedric
capable guy.
Cedric Wilson should be used the same way we used Matt Collins. Like sometimes you just need to throw the ball up to a guy that they're not going to expect. That's Cedric Wilson because teams are not going to game plan for Cedric Wilson. I think that's a mistake because he's shown that he can turn it up. But the way we use Matt Collins, it's like if we needed a big play on third down, they're not going to expect the ball to go to Matt Collins, and Matt Collins made that play every single time. And that's what
Right.
Cedric Wilson should be. Like if we need a big third down, throw it up to Cedric Wilson every once in a while. He can make that catch. He's proven the catches he was making, bro.
Yeah,
He
he
can
had a
do it.
damn good catch against the Chiefs. That touchdown catch he had.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
it was a touchdown.
He can make plays the same
Yeah,
way Matt Collins used to make plays.
he got missed on one of them too when Tua had he ain't overthrown, but he underthrew the go route. They wasn't on the same page, whatever the case may be. But let's get into that topic real quick because I know that's the bread and butter topic for Dolphins fans right now. And this is gonna be something that we're gonna spend quite some time on because I think this is something that's going to make or break this team for the next 7, 8 years. And depending on what they do with this contract situation with Tua. And so I want to get your thoughts. What you think is the best course of action for the team in terms of Tua and moving forward, with or without him?
The problem, and here's the problem. Here's the problem. How much better can we get from Tua? Like right now, I think this might just be PTSD for me being a Dolphins fan for almost 21 years now in my life. But I'm just I'm just content with Tua. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if we make a move and we don't extend him, we're gonna go right back to mediocrity where we once were.
Mm.
and it's gonna bite us in the ass, and we're gonna be like, damn, like when we at least had a serviceable quarterback, we were halfway decent. So I'm all for extending Tua if it's team friendly. Like I don't think he should be making some big ass bank. Like I don't think he should. But if it's team friendly, I'm all for extending Tua. But if people want to move on from him, the only question I ask is who's out there that you would take a chance on, and how much better can we actually get at the quarterback position? Because we're in a weird spot. Are you going to give up hella draft capital and good players to go get Caleb Williams? Are you going to throw a bag to? Are you going to try to take a chance on Kirk Cousins off of an Achilles tear? Like, how much better can we realistically get? Because we can play Madden all day, but we got to think realistically. If we don't extend Tua, who else really is there for us?
Right. And I agree with the team friendly deal and things of that nature. But the thing is, for me, and let me say this because I'm gonna post this on TikTok. I know I'm gonna get flack for this one. So let me just say this. So for me, I'm not extending to it, whether it's team friendly or him breaking the bank, especially if it's him breaking the bank. And the reason being is I know what he is. And I'd rather take my chances and bet on a young guy in the draft, whether it's this draft or the next draft. I'd rather take my chances with any young guy before I do the same old song and dance with the same guy for the next 4 years. It just does not make sense. And I said this last year about Daniel Jones. I'm gonna say it about Tua now. Do not tie yourself to a guy who has shown you just he's good enough to just be good enough. That's not going to win at the end of the day. We
Right.
see the quarterbacks who are in the AFC championships. We see the quarterbacks who are in the Super Bowl. Outside of Brock Purdy, who is an okay, good quarterback, the only reason why he's even there is because the team around him is phenomenal. He had 5 players that were all pros on the offensive side of the ball alone. You can't coach these type of things. Those situations just don't happen to every team. It happens every blue moon. So you can't expect to put all that talent, that endless talent around Tua. And even if you were to put endless talent around him, when he has had the talent, he has consistently come up short in the big moments. Excuse me. Let me read you some of these numbers because I wrote this down the other day.
Mm.
And hold on, let me find it, man, because I literally wrote this shit down. Like Tua in January through October, November, he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league in terms of what he can do on the field.
Right.
But once he gets to December and January, he literally is horrendously bad. It's terrible. And in my opinion, you can't replace it. Bro, I wish I could find these numbers. I can't find them right now. All right, here we go, right here. Numbers. The last 6 games of the season last year, he averaged 227.6 yards per game. That was 80 yards less than what he averaged. He had a 64% completion percentage. That's 7% lower than what he was on average. He has 6 TDs, 5 interceptions, an 83.9 passer rating. That's bottom 3 in the league. He's 1-6 against playoff teams. And on average, in December and January, his completion percentage is 62.8, and he has in total 8 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. That's not good enough. It's not gonna get it done. And I understand completely the logic, like who you gonna go get to replace him and etc. But at the end of the day, if this is the best you're going to get out of your guy who's supposed to be your $45-50 million annual quarterback, you're not going anywhere with this. It ain't happening. It's just not. Right. And if the fans who think that he's just going to magically figure it out, wait the hell up. He's been this for 4 years now. It ain't happening. He may improve slightly, but it ain't going to turn into some phenom overnight. This is who this guy is. It is what it is. So in my opinion, he's not worth being extended. He's not. I just don't feel like he is.
I feel that. So, with the small window we got, what would you do? Would you trade up to try to get a guy like a Jaden Daniels or something like that? And what would you try to give up? Would you try to take it?
This is what I'll do. What I'll do is I would let him play out this last year and this is it. This is the last straw. He has a 5th-year option. I'm not signing you to an extension. You go out there, you earn a contract. If you really want this $48-50 million contract that the market said you commanding and stuff like that,
Get us a playoff one.
cool. Go out there. Exactly. Go out there and show that you're worth that. Because these quarterbacks who making that kind of money outside of Justin Herbert, these dudes win the playoff games. They're winning their divisions. They're not out here just playing second fiddle to another guy every year. They're not doing that. So if you want that kind of money, go earn it. Show me. Prove it. Like, show me you can be the guy. And if you can't do that, I'm not giving you that. It's that simple. You're not getting that from me. Because look, I'm telling you, we're going to be in the same exact situation the Giants are in right now. They got fooled by one good season, one good game, and they're gonna end up going out. Oh, what's up, Brandon? Appreciate you, my boy. I didn't even see a comment. But they're gonna end up going out. They're gonna end up going out, and they're gonna just extend this guy to a contract that's gonna put them in purgatory or hell, just like what the Giants are right now. It is what it is. And the moment it happens, that's when everybody gonna realize, like, damn, you know what? Maybe that wasn't the brightest idea.
So with the small window we got, right? So aside from having Tua like prove it, after hypothetically he doesn't prove it, like we'd be back to square one trying to find a quarterback. And
I think,
so like I said, would you try to trade up for a guy like, because Caleb Williams off the board, and Drake May, so we didn't even got to talk about them. But would you try to like take a chance on a guy, try to trade up for a guy like Jaden Daniels or a JJ McCarthy or something like that?
I mean, I think they got too many other needs to do that this year. But I feel like next year draft class at quarterbacks will be a pretty good class as well. So I'm not too sure about who they should try to take a chance on. But if Shedeur Sanders comes out, I feel like you got a shot to get him. Because I don't think he's going top 10.
You think we got a shot at Shedeur?
Yeah. And I say that because they got the draft capital and the players to be moved on from that could get them the picks and to move up in the draft. Because listen, this is my theory. This is what I'm saying. If it doesn't work next year, blow it all to smithereens. You could trade whoever at that point. I don't give a shit. It could be Tyreek. It could be Jalen Phillips. If you go 3 years into this super team, quote unquote, without winning a playoff game, everything is fair game at that point.
Division title.
Everything is fair game at that point. You can trade whoever, you can fire whoever, you can let go of whoever. Go get your franchise guy first, though. Go get the guy. Because you haven't had the guy since Marino. Just go get the guy. That's it.
I'm kind of liking the Shedeur. But honestly, Shedeur is so weird considering that Colorado on paper has one of the best O-lines. So if he does turn up and like, I don't know, potentially win the Heisman or some shit, he might go top 10. Not gonna lie.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. I think he will. I think he will go.
So you're saying if we don't do shit this year, trade up into that top 10 and get him?
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it.
I'm saying if they don't win a playoff game next year, hell, even if they win a playoff game next year, but they don't look impressive, like to the point where you feel like, okay, they actually are improving and moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
Then no, bro, I'm not. The goal, and I tell people this all the time. The goal wasn't to be good enough just to lose in the first round every year. That wasn't the goal. That's not why you gave out all these big money contracts. That's not why you signed Tyreek to this massive deal. That's not why you went and got Bradley Chubb. It's not why you traded up to get Waddle.
It's not why you traded Jalen Ramsey.
Exactly. It's not why you traded for Jalen Ramsey. All these guys.
And we traded Ramsey for fucking peanuts. They gave us a fucking gift wrap for a fifth rounder and
Hunter Long.
Hunter Long, bro. A fifth rounder, Hunter Long. So the Rams gave us peanuts, or they took peanuts, yo.
Exactly. So it's like at some point you have to be able to make this work. And right now they're just not. And if it doesn't work next season, there is no reason for me to believe that they shouldn't just, lick their wounds, cut their losses, and get what they can. It's no reason at that point because what are you winning? I tell people this all the time. That's why I argue so much up and down about players. I could care less what a guy looks like from a attributes and skill standpoint. Is he winning the games? That's what it matters. That's what matters the most. I don't care how far he can throw a spiral and he can throw that. He could like with Justin Herbert. I love Jay Herbert. He's a great quarterback. But at the end of the day, if he ain't producing, I can't call him top 5. I've been telling people this for years. He can throw a ball on a frozen rope for all I care. Is he winning the games? No.
You've been getting dragged for that.
And, bro, it's like at the end of the day, bro, like he has to be able to show me that, and Tua has to show me that.
That's like for me with Stephon Diggs. It's like I can't call that man top 5 no more. You ain't producing for your team, dog. When they needed you, you want a seatbelt.
Exactly, and that's what it comes down to, bro. And I think people just lose track of that because they look at the team and they be like, you know, oh, here go one of my boys right here.
What's so do you think Nick? Oh, my fault. What else?
No, you good, bro. Go ahead.
What's going on?
So you all right, bro?
Yeah, chilling, bro. Just been on the road.
So do you think I'm not gonna lie, like for Miami next year, I think we finished 3rd in the division. And the reason is gonna be because Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb not being there for probably more than half of the season, that's going to hurt us a lot. We're gonna get no pressure. Teams are gonna have all day to throw. So I feel like we're gonna finish 3rd in the division with Aaron Rodgers being healthy. If he's healthy and he's still like 60% of what he was, I think we finished 3rd, bro. I don't see us doing shit.
All right, that's cool. I feel you. I get what you're saying, but Rio, the question was because I know you're not a big Tua guy either, but the question was, what would you do with Tua? Like, are you extending him or what you doing?
To be honest, I'm not extending Tua, bro. It's like I understand the yards. You know, he had the most yards this season and all of that. But I honestly feel like we could have did a lot more. I feel like it was more like they was worried too much about Tyreek for the most part, like of the season. Like I felt like they was mainly worried about his yards. You know, his like the yards, and we didn't give Jalen Waddle didn't really have too much of anything for real this season. I think he could have did more, but yeah, I'm not extending to it, honestly, man. You already know, T. I wanted Lamar.
Yeah, I know. I
think the entire fan base wanted Lamar, man.
Yeah, man.
That was insane.
We were talking, and last word brought up for next year, for 20 is it 2025? Yeah, the
2025.
The 2025 draft. He's playing around with the Shador. He's like the fact that we should draft Shador. Now he said if shit don't work out for us this season or this upcoming year, trade everybody, get the draft capital to at least get into the top 10 for a guy like Shador. And the reason I say that, well, at first he said Shador going to drop a little bit, but if we look on paper, Colorado on paper got one of the best O-lines in the country, like on paper. So they got what they needed on the O-line. Their weapons are really good. So Shador, at this point, he's one of the main guys college football and NFL scouts are looking at the quarterback position to have a major breakout year. And there's a chance that, you know, if this O-line holds up and Colorado makes the playoffs, he could be a Heisman winner. So he's probably going to be top 10. And honestly, I don't hate it. If this shit doesn't work out this year and we trade all, you know, some hella good players to get the draft capital for Shador, I'm cool for it. I'm cool with it.
What you think, Rio?
Oh shit.
He probably stepped away real quick, but
I'm liking the Shador thing though, and then on top of that, the wide receiver group get a wide receiver in the second round.
Yeah. So, and the thing with me, man, is it's not even really anything against Tua per se, man, because I'm a Tua fan, man. I got the jersey. Tua, the first jersey I ever bought in my life, I swear on everything. First team jersey I ever bought in my life.
I was just Tannehill.
I bought the team jersey. I never liked Tannehill. I'm not gonna lie, but I bought the team jersey when I'm talking. I bought it the same day we drafted him. Like it was $175. I remember, and man, it's somewhat heartbreaking for me because I legitimately wanted Tua to be the guy. I did. I wanted him to be the guy that was the one who made it work, who turned this franchise around, led us to the promised land, and just overall just became the reason that people in Miami had hope for Miami football again. And we just don't have that. And I don't feel as if he's the guy that's going to give us that. And again, that's not me saying Tua is a bad player per se, but there's a clear ceiling there. And I think that's what a lot of people are not realizing. Like, and Rio, to your credit, Rio, you said this to me before, and it's a reason why you run offenses a certain way with Tua at quarterback because he can only do so many things, which is true. That's fair. Like he can't thread a needle across the middle on a 40-yard rope if he laid on the pass. He has to be able to throw with anticipation and precision. And if he's not doing that, he's an at best okay quarterback. He's at best okay. He can't be led on reads. He don't have the arm talent nor the playmaking ability to make certain things happen. That's just not who he is. But the next topic we're gonna get into, y'all. The next thing I want to talk about is who was y'all biggest disappointments and biggest surprise this season? Like it could be a player, it could be a position group, coaches, whatever. Who y'all think was our biggest disappointment and biggest surprise? You can go ahead first, Lewis.
Honestly, the biggest surprise was Raheem Mostert. What the What the fuck? That's all I have to say about him. That's all I have to say is what the fuck? Like rusher for 1K. Okay, cool. Leading the league in touchdowns though. Ridiculous. That's ridiculous, bro. So Raheem
I thought he got robbed of a all-pro selection, man. I thought he got
robbed. That's true.
Yeah, I agree. But that's probably a good surprise was Raheem Mostert. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Disappointing? I mean, I'm gonna move away a little bit, and I'm gonna actually say Jalen Waddle. Like he has a drop issue. His hands are mid as fuck. When he catches it, very dynamic player. But if you just look at the numbers itself, he should have had way more than 1,000 yards. You just came off a 1,300-yard season, my boy. Like, I'm not asking you to go over 1,300. Give me the same production. He didn't do that. Your hands were bad.
The injuries racked up on him this year, man. It seemed like every other game he was just grabbing at something.
Grabbing that leg. But that's what I'll say. Disappointment and honorable mention disappointment to Ron Armstead. Give us our money back.
Go ahead, Rio left. But so for me, my biggest surprise player, honestly, man, I gotta listen. I've been giving this guy flake for years, man. I gotta give credit when this dude, man. I gotta give it to Austin Jackson, man. Austin Jackson. Even though I will say this, after he signed his contract, the play did start to drop off a little bit, but it wasn't bad to the point where he was an issue. It just was a clear difference after the payday. But I gotta give him his credit, man. He was unplayable at the left tackle position. Right. But now he's actually a serviceable right tackle. He holds his own against good pass rushers. He's not anything amazing. I'm not gonna make it seem like he's Penei Sewell or something. He's not, but he is someone who has improved greatly at the position. So I gotta give Austin Jackson credit, man. I'm a firm believer in, if you're going to talk about a man when he's down, you got to talk about him when he's up. And he is the guy that has truly improved his game. I got to give him the credit. And my biggest disappointment, honestly, man, y'all, this may be unpopular, but I got to say Javon Holland, man. I just expected him to take a step this year that he did not take. And the reason being I say that is because he wasn't making enough impact plays for me on the field. Outside of the Jets game when he had that 99-yard interception return for a TD, he just was not making the highlight flying plays I thought he would start making at this point in his career. And what made it worse for me, he missed a lot of tackles this year, man. Like his tackling ability was atrocious. And it seemed that like at times it was just a struggle for him to get guys on the ground. Like, because I remember the Buffalo Bill game, I believe it was week 4 we played them. This guy, Dawson Knox literally put him in the dirt with one stiff arm. And I was like, I get it. It's a tight end. He's not small. But Dawson Knox ain't no George Kittle. Like, this ain't a dude that should be just putting you in the dirt. So he kind of was disappointment for me. I was going to say Jalen Waddle, but you said Jalen Waddle, so I just went with someone else. Yeah. All right, Rio, who you got? Your biggest disappointments and biggest surprise? Are you there, Rio? If you talking, bro, I can't hear you. Yeah, he said he was driving, so he probably lost connection.
Shit. But Teron Armstead is another disappointment one, though. And it's not cut. Like, when he's on the field, he's good. But he's just injured too much for us to be paying him that kind of money. Like, we need you on the field, my dog. Like, get on the field. And
right. I agree,
that
man.
Sucks.
I agree.
Also Achane with the 7 games he played and had like 800 yards rushing or whatever. It's ridiculous. And I'm hoping he stays healthy.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for too. We can only hope though. You that real? I think that boy still. I just seen him come in the house though. He should be with us in a sec. But so let's get off to the next topic. I'll just ask him when he get back.
Yeah.
Let's get off into the next topic. So next topic is we're gonna talk about what the team should do this offseason. Like, what you think the best move for this team to be made this upcoming year? What you think they should do? What you think they shouldn't do? Should they add whoever they should add? If you want to give names, your choice, of your discretion.
All right. Honestly, I would like another safety. Brandon Jones, he's just not the same player after this ACL tear. I can easily tell. Like, so I'd like another safety back there with Javon Holland. Not gonna lie, if we get the cap space somehow, I want us to flirt a little bit with Marlon Humphrey. I'm not gonna lie. I want us to flirt just a little bit with Marlon Humphrey. See, not throw him a bag, but just see where his head's at. Like, see what he's willing to take or whatever. Because I think if we get Marlon Humphrey to fill an extra spot, I think we'd be all right. But I say a safety, replace Brandon Jones. That kind of hurts a little bit because I really like Brandon before the ACL tear, or try to flirt a little bit with Marlon Humphrey. In terms of the offensive end, I don't know. I mean, the only position I see we could kind of upgrade a little bit is tight end, but even then, I think Durham Smythe is solid, and he doesn't really need to be replaced. So, other than that, that's all I got.
You guys can hear me now?
Yeah,
I hear you, bro.
Okay, man, my bad, bro. I got all these phone calls coming in, man. It's been a little stressful, right? I'm trying to get my point across and everything.
It's all good. But it's all good.
I'm gonna have to go with because I heard the question before, but about the biggest disappointments and surprises. I'm gonna go with my biggest disappointment first, and it's gonna kind of be off kilter, but I'm gonna go with Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio?
Yeah, as the biggest disappointment. Okay. Because I don't know if you guys seen, but Jalen Ramsey posted something on his I think he did on Twitter and Instagram for sure. I seen it on, but yeah, he was saying how he wasn't using X nor him or honestly too Cam Smith. He wasn't really using these players to their potential, especially we really didn't see Cam Smith on the field, and I felt like he's an aggressive player. Yeah, he's young, but he could have gotten his feet well. I seen Adrian Bonner, that corner we had. I think that's his name. He was on the field a lot more than him in the playoff game, which was kind of crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Vic Fangio as the biggest disappointment. And this is another like a little bias, but I'll go with biggest surprise. And honestly, it's not really too much of a surprise, but I'm gonna have to go with Van Ginkel. I like his play. He was able to move around a lot more before he got injured, but
Mhm.
he was like one of those low key and I'm a low key guy too. He was like one of those low key players that we needed and impacted the game a lot.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Van Ginkel with that one because he did. I felt like to me, honestly, he did a lot. You know, a lot of moving around. Vic Fangio had him moving around a lot more than he did his corners, but which was insane. But
Right.
yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Van Ginkel.
Or that move is gonna piss me off because I know for a fact he's going to Philadelphia.
Yeah, he going to Philly.
and
Exactly.
and which and it sucks because it's a match made in heaven because the main thing Philadelphia needs is linebackers, and he's a fucking damn good linebacker, bro.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
the thing is, man, I agree with the standpoint of the AVG thing. But man, I'm not gonna lie, man. I think Vic got dealt a bad hand, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Now, don't get me wrong. Vic definitely called some bad games. Don't let's not get that twisted. He called some terrible games in some of those games. But man, it is hard to do that. It's hard to call certain looks you want when you got your best corner out for half the season. Your other best corner, he out there on the bad ankle and hamstring. And on top of that, your safety playing with two bruised hamstrings. Like the secondary was riddled with injuries, bro.
Yes.
And even despite that, they still had a top 10 unit. And I think a lot of that has to do with coaching. Now, again, Vic Fangio, I can completely agree. He was not what we thought we was getting. I can agree with that. But I think we have to be fair as well, though. And that's why the Jalen Ramsey thing, I see why he was upset. But it's like, bro, you missed, you didn't play till week 8. Like, what did you want him to do? He can't go give you a new leg. Like, he can't do that. So I understand the frustration to why they felt like they were limited in a sense. But at the same time, bro, I gotta be fair. Like, he had to do what he had to do to work with. Now, could Cam Smith have played more? Absolutely. Even if he was burnt toast. You got to see what you got.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
See what you got at the end of the day.
I feel like that experience, man. You got to give him experience.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
You got to get. You know who else was pissing me off that they weren't getting some playing time was Eric Nzakama. Like when we used him as a when we used him, but when we used him as a gadget player, he was solid. Like he was supposed to be like how the 49ers used Deebo Samuel. And I'm a big Nzukama guy, bro. I feel like we haven't seen the best.
He had a real bad neck injury though, so we'll see, man. We'll see.
Hoping in 2024. Hey, if Cedric Wilson gone, Nzukama going right in there. But another disappointment is fucking Kader Kohu. You burnt toast, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That was another one for me. He took a mountain step back. He was terrible this year.
I'm over here thinking like, okay, you were thrown into a position. You did okay last year at CB2. You got more experience, and then Jalen Ramsey goes out. It's like, okay, you know the system. You know how the defense works. So we good. Nah, he got his ass whipped every play, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah,
that was one guy. That was one guy. It was. I felt like some way, somehow, the best receiver ended up on his side every single time, and that's another reason
they
why
started game planning for it, and that's why I agree. That's why I agree with you on Fangio. That's why
exactly.
He did not help him at all.
Yeah, did not. You put him in too many terrible situations, man.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that completely.
Kader was a drive killer too. Like he would be holding, like he'd be roughing. Like Kader was just, oh my god.
I give y'all one more surprise for me, who I thought he really surprised me. I'm not gonna lie, was Deshaun Elliott, man. I thought he played pretty damn good. I thought he was pretty. I wasn't expecting much out of Deshaun Elliott when we signed him, because I really didn't think he was that good with the Lions. I thought he was someone who's gonna come in the box safety. He played over the top pretty solid. He was pretty damn
he
good.
did.
Rock
Yeah, he
with
did.
it.
But so Rio, the next topic we was talking about though, it was what should the team do this offseason? What you think they should do?
We need to focus on, and I'm gonna have to go shout my guy out. Like, it's my team. Florida State's my team. So, and I'm gonna say that loud and proud. But we need. I feel like honestly, like our main is.
You started breaking up, bro. I can hear you.
You gonna tell us to draft Jordan Travis? I don't want that.
Nah, I think you talking about. I think you talking about Keon Coleman.
Keon Coleman. Ooh.
You might have got another phone call, but if he was talking about Keon Coleman, he because he told me that the other night. He was like, that's what he wanted him to draft. But let me just when he get back, I'll let him finish his statement. But what I think the team should do this offseason, man. Like I alluded to earlier, I don't think they should extend to it. I think they need to go in and just put their chips on the table, and they need to go ahead and let them play out this 5th-year option and see what they got in them. Like that's what they need to do. But in terms of like offseason moves that they can make to be better for next season in particular, I think they need to improve the offensive line. I think they need another center. I mean, Connor Williams, I like Connor Williams. I think he's a damn good center.
That was another surprise. The leap he took for being a center.
Yeah, I think he's a damn good center. The issue is I don't think he's going to get paid the money he's looking for here. So I think he's going to walk. And so they need to replace that. They need to extend Robert Hunt. And they need a left guard. It's at this point, it's no excuse to why they're not bringing in a replacement for Liam Eichenberg or Robert Jones or whoever the hell else who they want to play there. Like, it just doesn't make sense at this point. They have too many resources, too many options, and too many ways to fill that gap, and it's been bad for years. So they got to improve their trenches play. To me, you gotta add an edge rusher. You have to. You have nothing, like you said earlier. Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips for a large portion of next season might be out for like the first 4 weeks, both of them.
It's like, bro, what are the odds, bro? Our top two
rushers. So it's like you gotta be able to improve on these things, and not only improve on them, but you have to find someone who could give you substantial play for like a month and a half at least. Because these guys ain't gonna come back just full throttle. They got to be eased into it. Like Bradley Chubb is what 28, 29 now. Yeah. So it's like he ain't on the right side of 20 anymore. Like this is a guy that's had injury problems in the past, and he's getting older. So you got to make some kind of move to make sure he can hold up right. And Jalen Phillips has had injuries. It's literally his whole football life. Literally. So at this point, you gotta just prepare for that at this point. So I think they need to add for the trenches. I think they need to add some edge rushers. And the last thing I will say that for the life of God, I will never understand why this team refuses to just improve at this position. But they need to add a damn linebacker. For whatever God-given reason, this team dismisses the linebacker position. What'd you say?
I'm hearing Patrick Queen.
Yeah, I heard some rumors of that too.
I wouldn't mind that.
But the thing that bothers me with this team is that we had chances, bro. We could have got Roquan Smith. We could have got Tremaine Edmonds at one point. We just didn't do it. That was a big one. David Long, I like David Long. I think David Long's solid. But we don't have no linebackers that can play in space. They can't cover. They just can't. None of them can do it. So you need someone who can you don't need Fred Warner, but you need someone who's serviceable. You need something. They have no one that can do it right now. And that is a huge problem. So they need to address the linebacker position for sure.
Do you think some of these Baltimore players are gonna end up coming over here because of Anthony Weaver?
I mean, I think Jadeveon Clowney is someone that's for sure going to be here. I think he is coming.
Hey, I'm down with it.
He is. And I can see Patrick Queen making his way too, but Patrick Queen is going to be a pretty penny, man. He's not going to come cheap. So if they want Patrick Queen, they're going to have to pay some money.
And we're going to have to restructure some contracts.
Yeah. But they could definitely for sure make it happen. That's not the problem. But Real, you go ahead and finish your thoughts, bro.
Yeah, but like I was saying, with two things that we need to add was the O-line. I feel like we need to fix that up because I felt like that was kind of a killer too, especially with the injuries we had to Connor Williams, and then Armstead with his bullshit. He's older, so. But I think we really should go and get my guy Keon Coleman from Florida State. That's the 6'4" receiver.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know who that is. Trust me.
And I've been hearing a lot about it. But that would help. I feel like that would help us a lot. Especially with the height wise, because we don't have really too many tall receivers. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's like I feel like he might be like one of those sleeper receivers because it's a lot. It's noise around his name, but not too much as other players. So,
yeah, I agree with that. I think Keon Coleman is a guy that will not fall because I don't think he's going to get taken like mid round.
He'll fall just enough.
He might fall like late first, early second. I think that's who he'll be.
Yeah,
but he might fall a little more than that too, if we're being honest, because it's always them handful of players that seem to just fall in the draft for whatever reason. So we'll see about that. But I would have zero problem if they wouldn't have got Keon Coleman. I would actually be for it because he is a change of pace in terms of what your receiver room has to offer. Like, and let's just call a spade, man. Listen. I don't know if y'all seen I forgot his name, but Roger Horsky, one of the Eagles representatives, executives, what he said about the Dolphins, how Vic Fangio came in, he was demanding more from his players essentially. Like a lot of guys, they want to put in the work. It was lazy. They didn't want to demand greatness for themselves. And when you look at it, this team we have around us, we got a pretty damn soft team, bro. We just do. Like, we are a finesse team. And what showed that to me was when L'Jarius Sneed jammed Tyreek Hill to fucking hell. God. It was terrible. I was like, bro, this is your best receiver. And he out there getting put on the box. And I'm like, this ain't gonna work. I said, you need someone with some kind of grit. You said,
I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt.
No,
like he slipped.
It ain't no excuse.
No. We hold Tyreek to a best wide receiver in the league standard. You can't have that, bro.
Yeah, that's.
And there was a lot of games where I felt like he had a lot of drops.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He did.
Sure.
He did. He did. But the thing is, like Tyreek, it's the same thing with Jalen Waddle. But when Tyreek catches that shit, it's damn near 70 or a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? That's why that's what makes up for it. You know what I'm saying? Like he has some drop issues, but when he catches it, he gonna make up for it. So we gonna forget that the drops happen. But where I say where a guy like Jalen Waddle can't fucking catch it. He can't catch the ball at all.
The thing with Tyreek Hill is that it happens at the most worst and inconvenient time.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so noticeable and hurtful because it happens against the better teams and it happens when it's like a routine kind of play for him. Like against the Eagles when he dropped that slant around.
Oh, yeah, he should have had 2 TDs that game, bro.
Oh, there go Larry right there.
Hey.
What's good, man? What's good, everybody?
What's going on, bro? Hey, but look, I'm gonna ask you this, Larry, because I know me, Luis. I don't know how Rio feel about it. I asked Rio, so I'm gonna ask y'all two real quick. So I know, Larry, you said you wouldn't trade Waddle for McDuffie. Can you explain why?
Hey, when it comes to production, Waddle has given that since he entered the league. He's shown that he has the potential to be a number one. He just gotta get the targets. Tyreek's still there, but Tyreek not gonna be there for long. He there to uplift Waddle. He's shown 3 seasons straight that he could be that number one guy. Trent McDuffie, I think that's a step backwards. Getting rid of our number 2 target.
Okay. What you say, Real?
I'm gonna send it to you.
I honestly feel like I'm gonna kind of side with Larry. Like, I understand, like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he has some crazy drops, but I feel like we'll be taking a step back too, because he was like, really solidified number one before Tyreek got there. It's just, he had that extra help. And I played the receiver position in college, but it's kind of hard when your number one target is, constantly the main target, and you got to take the back burner, or that kind of messes up like your mental state too. So like, I feel like some of those bad plays he may have had in the past could lead. That's like that could be reasons why. Yes, I know they are professionals at the end of the day, but we're still human at the end of the day too. So
right, for sure.
Yeah, so I feel like I'll stick it out with Waddle. Trent McDuffie is not bad, but I feel like we need a couple more good DBs, but I feel like Jalen Waddle, he makes up a lot, especially on the offensive side of the ball, which was our issue in the playoffs. That playoff game, our issue was offense, if you want to be honest.
Right.
So
the issue for the last 2 months was the offense. But go ahead.
Let's play devil's advocate for a second. So let's say we do get the trade for Jalen Waddle for Trent McDuffie, and then we go ahead and draft Keon Coleman. Would you be good then? I'm just saying because it's a real possibility that could happen.
I'm gonna be 1,000% biased. I would rather go with that. If that's the case, yeah, I would go with that.
And then we take a chance on Shedeur next year. I'm just saying, bro. Just saying.
And the thing is, go ahead, Larry.
Let me ask a question. Why trade Jalen Waddle?
All right, let me say this, bro. And I told you how I feel about Waddle already. Look, I don't think Waddle by any means of the imagination is a bad player. In fact, I've said to Lewis and you before, I think Waddle is the best second receiver in the league. I truly believe he's that good.
For sure.
So I'm not saying it to make it seem like he is, not good enough to be that guy. The problem is I know what he is, and that's that he is a guy who's good enough to be a damn good 2, but I never once thought he was good enough to be a 1. And if we're saying that, we're operating under the belief that he's going to replace Tyreek Hill once Tyreek Hill does decide to call it quits, I'm not one of the believers that he's going to be able to replicate that production nor replace it. Now, that's not to say he can't do a good job, but it is to say you're taking a massive step back from Tyreek Hill to Jalen Waddle, in my opinion.
Bro.
And now, to be fair, you're going to take a step back regardless because Tyreek Hill is Tyreek Hill. But if we're thinking from the perspective of you have a chance to go out and get a guy in Trent McDuffie, who is probably arguably one of the 10 best corners in the league right now, over a guy in Waddle, who me and you talked about this, Larry, who we agree that he may not be top 15.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're getting better at another weak position that you would need, especially in the defense, where Anthony Weaver is going to play mandatorily man-to-man defense. And that's what Trent McDuffie thrives in. And to me, and like I said, you can replace Waddle's production. Because like I said earlier on the pod and the other day on the game, like, there are receivers who go 3rd, 4th round that are just as productive if not sometimes more. So it's not impossible to replace that. But you're not finding Trent McDuffie's in the third or fourth round every other draft. You're just not.
I agree.
What if you find your corner in the first round? What if we go corner in the first?
Who? Like, give me
Dolphins.
an example. No, I'm saying who?
I'm just saying. I'm bringing up perspective.
You think about that dude. You think about Cooper DeJean from Iowa.
I don't think he's gonna be down there.
Nah, Cooper DeJean gonna be. He going top 15.
Top 15.
But I like the guy out of Missouri though. Ray Star Jr.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Okay, I don't think he fit what you want to do though. I don't think so.
Anthony Weaver gonna be playing man all game.
I think he's good at man, but he's a much better off the ball corner, bro. Much better. And I think it'll be kind of doing him a disservice to put him in a man press kind of scheme because that's not really his game, even though he has the skill set to do it. But listen, I'm like I said though, I'm not saying any of that to say that they should for sure trade Waddle. But if the offer was there, man, I ain't gonna lie, boy.
I think we'd be fools not to take that. Because you also think of it in the long run too. Jalen Ramsey is getting older as well. Like I think next year he's gonna be 30. So he's getting older as well. So we already got his replacement too. So we gonna get his replacement too. So shit.
All right, so but let's go off into the next topic, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask Larry for his biggest disappointments and biggest surprises from this season. So who you got, my boy?
Biggest disappointment.
Yeah, and biggest surprise.
My biggest disappointment, I gotta say, man, probably Cedric Wilson or Tua Tagovailoa, man.
What? Hold on, wait.
Cedric Wilson in the what's up? Ask me.
I was about to ask why Cedric Wilson. That's a curious.
Cedric Wilson, he didn't show up when we needed him. Tyreek went out. He didn't show up, and we paying him to be a guy that come in when things go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't step up. None of our backup receivers stepped up. I'm still looking for Eric E. Why he not getting in the game? The guy out of Michigan State.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm with you on Eric Nzukama, bro. I'm a big believer in him.
I don't know why he's not getting in. He was looking good in the preseason.
He got hurt. He got hurt.
But Cedric Wilson is hard though. Like can you argue that he wasn't getting the targets from Tua?
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I honestly feel that too.
It's hard
because whenever Tua threw the ball to him, he was catching that bitch.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to get the production, man. If you're only getting like 2 or 3 targets a game, bro, that's hard, bro.
There's some games he don't get targeted at all.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I get what you mean. I get what you mean by like. Honestly, I just think it's not a good fit for him because his game isn't like Tyreek Hill or Waddle, where he relies on creating separation on top of routes. Like he's a guy that's going to win the contested catches. He's going to go up and get the ball out the air, pluck it out the air. Like it's almost like what Devontae Parker was and why he couldn't really thrive with Tua, because Tua is not a guy that's throwing the ball up or throwing it back shoulder to give a guy a chance. That's not his game.
Which he should be.
Yeah, he should be. I agree, but that's just not his game, though. So it's like it's hard for someone like Cedric Wilson to thrive in this kind of system because he's not really complimenting what they want to do. Because we got to remember, he got signed before they traded for Tyreek. Like they completely changed the entire offense once they traded for Tyreek. Like
I think Cedric came here with the intentions that he was gonna have a breakout year after the year he had in Dallas, and then
because he was doing good in Dallas.
Yeah, he was supposed to come in to be your number 2, but the thing is, Tyreek became available, and then he just got pushed back on the depth chart, and they completely changed the offense.
You
So
heard,
it's
you heard
like
what Mike McDaniel said.
He was just an odd man out, honestly.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, you heard what Mike McDaniel said. As soon as Tyreek was available, he said, "Just give him everything." At that point, just
he did say give everything.
Give everything up, bro.
Well, who your biggest surprise though? Like positive.
A positive.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest with you, bro, Zach Sealer.
Yo, that's crazy.
I was not expecting this. I was a big fan of him.
That's crazy.
But to have this kind of season, it made sense of why we gave him that contract that early instead of Christian Wilkins. Because see how hard Christian Wilkins worked this season, he wanted that contract. But just in case if we couldn't get him, Zach Sealer was the next best thing. We wasn't finding nothing like that in free agency.
Dog, bro.
For that amount of money. Another one, if I could kind of cheat, Andrew Van Ginkel.
Yo,
I feel like he's the guy. I feel like he's the guy that needs to stay around. They don't need to let nobody take him.
Bro, you know Vic Fangio gonna get his ass. That's what makes me mad.
He might steal him. Yeah, he might steal him.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay. Hey, my bad, but I had to say Larry.
Yo.
You literally said my second option. I was gonna say Zach Sealer, but I only gave one, and my one was Van Ginkel, bro. That's crazy, bro. You already know what it is, though.
Yeah.
Hey Larry, I said the biggest surprise for me it was Raheem Mostert because ain't nobody expect for him to go stupid like the way he did this year.
If I'm gonna be real with you, man, that was Devon A-Chain season.
It was.
I'm not hating on Raheem Mostert,
but
that was Devon A-Chain season. He had 700 yards and 7 touchdowns in how many games? 4 before getting hurt. That's unheard of. I don't know. I don't remember a Dolphins running back having this kind of start to start his career off. Drafted by the squad.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, A-Chain full healthy. If he's fully healthy, bro.
Right.
If he's fully healthy, bro, 1,500-1,600 rushing yards. I swear to God. Being so dead ass.
The problem is he just built like a 15-year-old, but you know that's not the hit.
That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
But I love the fact he knows how to run route. Like, bro, there was so many deep balls Tua just missed on him, bro. Because oh my God, his receiving ability is crazy, bro.
Now, he kind of messed us up in the Buffalo game as well.
That Buffalo, I was just about to say that Buffalo game. I gotta be fair to Tua, man. He slowed down on that go route. He did. I don't think he knew the ball was coming his way because he
wasn't expecting it.
If he would have kept running, that would have been an 80-yard touchdown.
And it's not that's not even. Oh no, I'm thinking about the Titans game when he went backwards instead of going out of bounds.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But something told me A-Chain, bro. He about to have an insane year, bro. He about to have an insane year. He just got to be healthy. Just stay on the field, my dog. Stay on the field, bro.
That Raheem Mostert showed that A-Chain gonna take over this Dolphins backfield. That's why I don't think we gonna bring Mostert back.
I want to keep him around though. Like you can ease Mostert into the number 2, like slowly, while you try to elevate.
I think
I love Raheem though, man.
I think they're gonna run it back with the running back room. I ain't gonna lie.
You think so?
Jeff Wilson can go.
I don't think they're trying to spend big money or
like
draft
capital.
You don't think them running backs out there tempting?
Like who?
I mean, Saquon already said he don't.
What you mean? Like you talking about from free agency? You talking about from free agency?
Free agency, yeah.
Saquon going to the Chargers, game.
You think the Chargers?
I think the Chargers gonna give him the most beautiful bag ever.
I think Saquon going to the Texans, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
You think to Houston?
Yeah, I think going to the Texans. I think they're a dark horse for him. I'm not gonna lie. I really do. Because
that'd be nasty.
I gotta check the running back situation.
Because you got Josh Jacobs a free agent too, ain't he?
I'm checking right now.
You said Josh Jacobs? Yeah, Josh Jacobs is a free agent.
Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler.
You don't think that's a tempting free agency?
They could keep Austin Eckler. I'm not
I ain't gonna lie. The realistic option I see, if we were to go out and get one of them running backs, it would probably be Josh Jacobs.
I wouldn't have a
the
problem
offense.
with that. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
I wouldn't have a problem with Josh Jacobs, but realistically,
But-
I don't see us getting Saquon.
Nah, Saquon
we're
is
gonna
not
get out.
legit,
We're
though.
gonna get outbid. Saquon wants to.
Saquon's gonna go to a young team that wants to spend money.
The
That
Texans.
sounds like Houston. That sounds like
Yeah,
Houston.
it sounds like Houston. Yeah,
But I think
But it
I
also
think he
sound
going to
like
the Charge.
Baltimore.
I think he going to the Chargers.
I'm not gonna lie.
man.
Saquon Barkley go to Baltimore. I ain't gonna lie, boy. It's
I might as well. You might as well pack it
why
up. I ain't gonna
Baltimore
lie.
can't get a? Baltimore could offer him something.
They're going.
No,
They're
they
gonna get
can.
Derrick Henry. They're gonna get Derrick Henry because they
can.
try to trade for.
Nah,
him
they
already.
get that. Oh my goodness.
They try to trade for Henry already, bro. But I think Derrick
Yeah.
Henry gonna be one of them guys. He ain't gonna sign a contract till like
But who,
we get.
all right,
we
so
get
who y'all
close to
think?
the
Who
season.
y'all think would be the best fit for the Dolphins, though? If you had to just pick one of them guys, like just hypothetically speaking, but it has to be realistic, like a realistic signing. We know they're not getting Saquon. We know that. So let's throw his name out of there. Who do y'all think would be the most realistic and best signing out of all those running backs?
Josh Jacobs.
realistic signing and within our money.
Yeah.
I think Josh Jacobs gonna try to go for a bad. Y'all might hate me for this one.
I'm going Derrick Henry.
I think Austin Eckler, bro.
We have
they
Achan for that.
If they sign Austin Eckler, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be done.
We got Achan for that though.
But we just talked about he got to stay on the field. He built like a 15-year-old.
Austin
Five
Eckler
foot
is
nine,
like
what's up,
Austin
like a
Eckler is
12-year-old.
bald Najee
But
Harris. though.
Austin Eckler is a pounding running back, bro. He takes hits.
I mean, he could take hits, but he not necessarily a ground and pound
But
guy.
he could catch out of the backfield, giving us something that we could use at running back. I ain't say we gonna need it, but we could use that at running back.
Now,
And you
also,
could throw a
if
man
we,
for the cheap.
if we go realistic too, and we're known for being a team to give injured players a fucking chance, I can see us throwing a little money to J.K. Dobbins, taking a chance on him.
Oh hell no, hell no!
I can see that.
If they went and got J.K. Dobbins, I'll be.
We
done.
gave you got to think about. We gave Raheem a chance after Raheem missed like two straight years.
Listen, Raheem.
But Raheem played under that
running
system
back,
too.
but he played
Yeah,
in
he
enough
did.
systems and showed you enough that he can be a guy. J.K. Dobbins get hurt every 3 weeks, bro. Like that's not good enough for me.
That's
I'm
unfortunate.
All right, so y'all want Tony? So y'all want Tony Pollard? Nah, I don't want him. I don't want him.
I honestly think
that
our biggest.
was about to be my answer. I think that's like the most realistic person they could sign. Because I don't listen. Derrick Henry already done said it. He want to go to a contender. He want to compete for a title. That ain't happening here right now. It's not.
Not going with us.
Let's just be honest. It's not. So I don't think that's happening. I think Josh Jacobs is a possibility, but I think like what Larry just said, I think he's going to demand certain kind of value, and I don't think he's going to get that here. So who you got left? So that means you're not going to overpay a running back nor pay big money for him.
Right.
And that means you still gonna need someone with some kind of veteran experience because you already got young guys in the room. That to me, that screams Tony Pollard. So not to say that Tony Pollard is someone who's just you gonna move the needle for. No, you're not. But he is someone you could bring into the room and he can give you some substantial snaps. Like he had a down year with the Cowboys for sure, but he's a guy
They wanted to throw the ball more.
So with the way we use our running backs in the passing game and shit like that, would you be open to Cordell Patterson?
No.
You wouldn't be open to that?
Maybe like 2 years ago when he first got to Atlanta, but not now. It's too much tread on them tires now, boy.
I ain't gonna lie, for a goal line back, I want Gus. For a goal line back, I want Gus.
You can't expect him to get 10, 15 carries a game though. That's
as a goal line back. Give me Gus Edwards, bro. I would love that.
I honestly think we need to go for a tight end.
Yeah, I think Durham Smythe is fine though. We don't need to fill that. Like,
No, he hate Durham Smythe.
He's
bro.
not.
you don't like
fine.
Durham Smythe, bro?
He's
He
not
hate
What
Durham
you
fine.
Smythe.
mean?
He hates Durham
All right,
Smythe.
look.
When you
this
go,
the
when you
thing.
where you gonna
This
find
the
a
thing.
tight end that's gonna willingly block? Because tight ends don't like blocking no more.
Bro, you could find that. You could have drafted that in the draft.
No, because every tight end wants to be a receiver. We're like Durham Smythe is still one of the only traditional tight ends in the league.
Man.
And look how the way we use our passing system. We don't use tight ends like that anyway. So he's practically
we
just another
need to
offensive
start.
lineman.
We need to
I
get a
agree
tight
with
end
that.
who
We
could
do
get
need to
dynamic
start
through the
utilizing
middle.
We do need to
We
start,
need to
but
start utilizing that because
we
when
know
you
how
become,
Mike McDaniel is. He is what he is, and he's not going to use. If we
This
didn't
the
use Mike
thing.
Gesicki when he was here, there's no way we're using another tight end.
See, that's the thing with Mike Gesicki. He wasn't electric throughout the middle. We need to go find a tight end who gonna get savvy throughout the middle and cut the defense off from taking our speed away. Because people were just predicated on our speed. We had nothing through the middle underneath. That's what killed us.
At that point, we might as well trade Jalen Waddle for Kyle Pitts, then.
See, now we going backwards.
What?
Who are we going to
wait,
replace
time out.
Waddle with?
I was trolling when I said that.
Wait.
You think we move
wouldn't
backwards if we
trade
trade?
Jalen Waddle for Kyle Pitts?
I don't think we should trade Jalen Waddle for Kyle Pitts.
That's crazy.
We're gonna have to if we do that, we're gonna have to start him at receiver.
I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that.
If he starts at receiver, I will take that because I wanted Kyle Pitts. I hate it when we traded back.
I wanted Kyle Pitts too. That's what I'm saying.
I wanted Kyle Pitts. So
yeah. I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy.
I don't think we take a step back. I think we take another leap, if anything.
If I can get offense for offense, I'm fine.
With better hands.
And just give him a chance. That's explosiveness right there.
All right, so let me ask y'all this last thing before we get into the last topic. So what do y'all think how do y'all think they should handle the Christian Wilkins contract situation? Now news has come out he is going to be franchise tagged. Well, that's the reports that is coming out. But he's also let it be known that earlier in the season, he is not willing to play on the franchise tag. So what do y'all think, and how do y'all think they should handle the situation? I'll start with you first, Larry. Go ahead.
I mean, like I said, when I said Zach Sealer was my surprise of the season, if we can't get a contract done, we got Zach Sealer right there to fill that void. Because he was good enough this season to get up in that list of top D tackles in the league. Well, he had 10 sacks, double-digit sacks for a second D tackle. That's
I think he had
on a 36 on a $36.5 million deal. Way cheaper than what Christian Wilkins is asking for. So if we can't get a deal done, I won't be too mad if we sign him or if we won't. He was productive this year, but if we don't sign him, hey, you asked for too much money, man.
All right, so would you sign him to the market setting money he asking for?
That depends on what I'm paying my quarterback.
Oh, know we gonna give Tua a bag.
what you say, Rio? What you got?
Man, y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Think about C-Dub. Man, honestly, I honestly feel like we should give him what he asked for. Because I feel like, man, he's an energetic dude, man. And that's shit. And but he always have Josh Allen under so much duress. Like he be giving that hell. I know y'all seen what he did in the script where he had a script fumble against Josh Allen. So I honestly feel like we should pay him. He deserves it. And he's an energetic dude. He's a good leader. And yeah, I honestly feel like he should get what he asked for. That's just me. But like I said, with Zach Sealer, I feel like he got complimented well too. Like with you got T-Dub, you got Jalen Phillips and Brad Chubb. All of those guys. So with all those guys around, they're complementing each other very well. So I honestly feel like we should keep, and that's we drafted him. I feel
Yeah.
like we should keep, we should keep him, honestly.
Okay. What did you say, Lewis?
Honestly, I think this could be a win-win scenario either way for Miami because Christian Wilkins is good enough to get paid that kind of money. Like, I really like Christian Wilkins. But if he's unwilling to play on the franchise tag, because to me, the way you said about Tua is what I would say about Christian Wilkins. You want me to pay this kind of money? We can't come to an agreement. Let's do this franchise tag, replicate what you did, then you'll get your fucking money. Then after that, you give me back-to-back great production seasons. But if you're unwilling to play in the franchise tag, I think Christian Wilkins is good enough to where we can get back some sort of haul for draft picks.
Mm.
Like if we trade him to the Commanders or some shit, like we'll get back a good, like probably a couple like third, fourth round picks for a guy like Christian Wilkins. So either way, it's a win-win. We keep him, W. If not, we can trade him, get back some picks. So either way, I'm cool with whatever.
Y'all might not like my take, but I don't think he's worth market setting money. I'm not gonna lie.
How much he asking for? $30 million a year?
Yeah.
Oh
and
shit.
I don't, and that's not me saying I don't think he's not a good player. I think Christian Wilkins is a good player, but the issue is he's not in the same realm as these game-changing D tackles like the Chris Jones, like the Aaron Donalds, like hell, I don't even think he's Quinnen Williams, if I'm being honest. Like, and it's not to say that he didn't have a better season than those guys, because he did. He had a better season than Quinnen Williams, and you could say Aaron Donald too. But we know that there are certain looks and matchups those guys are getting that he's not getting. And the simple fact is, when we've seen not Aaron Donald, when we've seen Christian Wilkins step up in echelon in terms of competition, like against the Eagles, who has one of the best O-lines in the league, like against the Chiefs, like against the Cowboys, where he's going up against these better guards, Zach Martin, and all these other guys. Right. He is not the same disruptive player he was against some of these lesser teams. And
you don't think so?
Problem. No, I don't think so. And the reason why I say that is because, let me use an example. When you look at the Eagles game, the only thing he did that game that was noticeable was having one of the stupidest penalties I've seen all year. That was the only thing. He didn't have a sack. He finished the game with 2 tackles, I believe, and he just wasn't being disruptive the entire game. And those are the games, to me, in my opinion, I say this all the time. I said this on multiple podcasts. I say it everywhere. Your big money players you're not paying them to be good against the bad teams. Everyone is going to be good against the bad teams. I'm paying you this money because I know, regardless of who lines up in front of you, I like you to win the matchup, regardless. That's why I'm paying you that. And it's far too many games and instances where I feel like he's not making the impact where he's demanding this kind of money. And it's not to say that he can't live up to the contract, because, again, he has the talent, he has the ability. Hell, he has the production this year. But at the end of the day, when you look at the player he has been the past 4 years outside of this season, he's never had a season where he had more than 5 sacks. This was the first season. And this, like I told you on the party, Larry, like, players who are in contract years, you know when they're in contract years, because they're going to give you their best. The problem is, I don't know what I'm getting after that. What's up, Karen? So that's where I'm a little hesitant with Christian Wilkins. And again, it's not me saying I don't think he can't live up to it, but I just need to see him come up bigger in these bigger games, man. I give him the respect for the Josh Allen thing for sure, because for whatever reason, that's become personal for him. But against the rest of these other guys, though, it just doesn't translate for me.
You don't think so?
Do you guys think that there's an argument Sealer could be better than Christian Wilkins?
I ain't gonna lie. I think they're the same tier players.
I think Christian Wilkins is better than him. But I also do think I could get almost the same production from both.
Yeah, that's
They
what,
work.
that's why I
They
said
work
they're
well
the
off each
same
other. But
players.
then I would want someone to replace Christian Wilkins. You know, so
That's the problem because I don't feel the same way like replacing like someone like Tua or Waddle. Like I feel like you can replace those guys eventually, like within the near future. Wilkins, I'm not too sure about.
I'm not gonna
'Cause-
lie. If we move on from Wilkins, we trade him. I think we should get home dude from Texas to replace him. Byron Murphy, that D tackle from Texas. I think he would fit in really well with Zach Sealer
All right,
if we
so
go ahead and trade him.
Hear what Karen said. Karen said Christian Wilkins are very good, but going to be 29. It's going to be huge.
Oh, he
loss.
is old as dirt too, huh?
Contender.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
I ain't gonna lie. I trade him and get home dude from Texas, Byron Murphy. I'll get him to replace him.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Or that dude from Michigan. That dude Jenkins.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's leaving like the top 15.
Think so?
I don't think so. Top 20 maybe.
All right. So
Especially
before we
coming
get
out of
into
Michigan.
the last topic though, I'm gonna ask. I don't think I got y'all guys' takes on the new DC on Anthony Weaver. So, Larry, what's your thoughts on the new DC? If you got any.
Nah, yeah, I like him. I want to see what he come in and bring. It seemed like Jalen Ramsey, excited to play with him, and I know how he is as a player. So I want to see what he about.
Right, I agree, and I said that earlier, Karen. I said that earlier. They definitely need to find another edge. I said that.
I think they're gonna address the linebacker situation.
Well, I hope they do, boy. You know how I feel about that.
Think because Anthony Weaver coming in, he like blitzing and everything. You gotta have linebackers for that.
And
You can't just
Van
have
Ginkel
anybody.
is gonna be huge.
You can't just have anybody
right
rushing that quarterback.
You got any thoughts, Rio?
Yeah. So with Anthony Weaver, yeah, no, I like it. Man, listen, if Jalen Ramsey like it, I like it. God damn it. So, and I'm hearing a lot about him, like how he's gonna, he's saying how Ramsey, there's another Florida State guy, like he's willing to move him around. He's like that masterpiece. He's like that centerpiece, and you gotta utilize him the way he should be utilized, over the field, over the best player, blitzing, shooting, whatever. Like it should happen. And if he's all for it and Ramsey's all for it and he knows that Ramsey is that guy, then hey, listen, I'm Anthony Weaver demon now. So
I don't know how the fuck you can see what Ramsey did in the second half of the year and just not utilizing to his full potential. Fucking
exactly.
Vic Fangio not putting Ramsey on the number one wide receiver is crazy.
And getting Kohu torched, and now nobody likes Kohu because of that.
I think so. For me personally, man, like I said earlier, man, I think Vic Fangio for sure was trying to be too. I'm not prideful, but I think he was too hell bent in his ways in order to change what needed to be changed. So I for sure agree with that. But like I said this on a post on TikTok, man. I feel like you was going to take a step back regardless, though, whoever you got at DC, because as much as I gave Fangio flack for not getting certain adjustments in and making certain in-game adjustments, he had a hell of a lot of injuries on that defense, and this still was a top 10.
He did.
That is true.
I gotta give him credit, man. Like when you got 8 starters out on one side of the ball and you still play a good enough game to win against the team that went on to win the Super Bowl, I gotta give him credit. Like that's nothing but coaching. That's all that was. So I gotta give him that. But the problem is, man, I'm starting to believe. I don't know if the players as a whole, like they want it bad enough.
They didn't.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, they didn't want him.
Yeah, so it's like at the end of the day, man, like it's starting to get a little worrisome from like the mentality standpoint. Because like I told y'all earlier, I think the team's soft, bro. I do.
Do you know why I feel like we not getting to where we need to be? Well, I think the three of y'all live in Florida, so y'all probably know way better than me. But we're not a hot commodity or whatever, or a hot spot for players because we're the fucking Dolphins and we're great. We're like, people want to come to us because they gonna get all their money. It's like the taxes over there, they're not gonna get taken away, and it's Miami. You gonna live the life down there
for sure.
So I feel like players are definitely a lot more laid back, and that's why I was excited for Anthony Weaver, because I feel like he gonna be the kind of guy where it's like, the fuck are y'all doing? Y'all not gonna sit back and have fun. Because Mike McDaniel, he was pulling up to all the parties with these motherfuckers. I feel like Anthony Weaver gonna be that guy. Like,
So
nah, fam.
But that's my issue though, there, Lewis. And I said this in a game chat one time with me, Larry, and Rio. Bro, I feel like I genuinely feel like Mike McDaniel coddle players too much. I genuinely feel that way, and I say that because it seems to be no accountability on the team, bro. Like, when it's different, right? If you see other problems happen from a week in, a week out basis, but when it's the same problems every week, to me, that's falling on coaching. Because what are we doing during the week to get better? You should be improving on the mistakes. You shouldn't just be going to a guy like, I'm gonna give y'all an example. I remember in the Giants game, right, when Tua threw that second interception, like I don't know what the hell he's seeing, I don't know what the hell he was doing, but he tried something. Like, I know he got hit, I know he tried to get the Waddle, but the problem was he seen the guy approaching him, and he still tried it anyway, for whatever reason. He goes to the sideline. Mike McDaniel looks at him. Don't worry about it. It's all good. No, it's not good. This is the Giants, bro. Like, you got to do it in the game against the Giants. Like, what are we doing? Like, no, bro. It has to be some kind of accountability at some point, bro. And I think that's where Vic Fangio was having trouble, because, like I told you earlier with Ron Jaworski, the dude from the Eagles, he was saying how, like, Vic Fangio was trying to hold players to a higher standard to want better for themselves, and a lot of guys wasn't willing to meet them halfway. And I think at some point that has to be the truth to certain extents, because Brian Flores was having the same issues. I don't know if y'all remember that, but Jerome Baker came out and said at one of his press conferences one time that, yeah, Brian Flores was a tough-nosed, hard-nosed coach, and a lot of guys didn't like that. So that's why he wasn't liked by a lot of players on the team, but some did respect and like him because he was that way. And I'm starting to feel like this is just who this team slowly is becoming, and the problem is the head coach is embracing it. He's not necessarily holding these guys accountable, in my opinion.
Not only the head coach, it starts from the man above, that man Stephen Ross. He's too fucking laid back, and then him being too laid back made Chris Greer be too laid back for a long fucking time. This is the first time Chris Greer has tried to do something with this team since he's fucking been here.
That dude.
So both of them gotta go. I don't know why Stephen Ross still, man. I smacked the shit. Never mind. But I'm tired of Stephen Ross, man.
Hey, that's how I feel about Tua. I smacked the shit out that boy.
Man, I ain't trying to get him demonetized, but last word know how I feel about Stephen Ross. I hate that, man.
I'm already knowing, but we gonna close out the show, y'all, with a would you rather. And so how it's gonna go is, I'm gonna ask y'all, would you rather, give y'all a player, and I'm gonna list some quarterbacks and see if y'all take him or the quarterbacks I say. So we're gonna go with a would you rather Tua Tagovailoa edition. Let's get into it. So first name up, Jared Goff.
No.
No, I'm taking Tua.
Yeah, I'm taking Tua.
Tua.
All right. Next name I got for y'all, Kyler Murray.
No.
Kyler. I'm taking Kyler.
Tua.
Nope.
I don't think it's that close. I think Kyler sweeps as a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think Kyler clears. I'm not gonna lie.
I think Kyler disrespectfully whoops ass. I'm not gonna lie.
I think Kyler is easily better than Tua. I'm not gonna call y'all. But hey,
stronger arm, better mobility, better off script. I feel like he does better progressions as well. He's just better. Like, there's no other way to put it.
All right.
I'm not taking Kyler.
What?
All right, Brock Purdy.
Yeah, y'all not gonna like me. I'm gonna
I'm
take
getting
Brock
the same
Purdy.
production.
I'm taking Brock Purdy.
Same production. Same
I'm getting the
production.
same
At
production
least
from the
if
both of them.
if a play goes off script or
No, I'm
whatever,
saying like you got to pick one though. Gun to
I'm
your
picking.
head.
If the play goes off
You know
script,
what?
I can at least trust Brock Purdy to get out of the pocket and make a play. Tua, he doesn't do that consistently as much as Brock Purdy does.
I'm staying with Tua.
I'm going Brock
Okay.
Purdy.
I'm staying Tua because I honestly feel like Tua would have probably. I would say Tua wins versus well on the 49ers team.
Okay.
Brock Purdy, he was more like Cam said, and I'm gonna have to go with Cam. Cam was not lying. He's a game manager, bro. Brock Purdy is a game manager. It
I ain't
was
gonna lie,
times
to be
where,
fair, I think both
yeah,
of them are.
I think both are. Yeah.
no, for sure they both are, but I feel like Tua would be better in that system than Brock Purdy was. I feel
Okay.
like he would be. But that's just me. But no, I'm gonna stay Tua. Honestly, I'm sorry.
I
I'm
don't
gonna stay
think
Tua.
Tua come back in that Lions game. I don't think Tua runs for them first downs the same way Brock Purdy running for them first downs. And
I
take them
agree with that.
hits.
I agree with that. I still take Tua, but I do agree with that, Lewis.
You
Who
don't
you said,
think
Larry?
You don't think Tua coming back?
No,
No.
Tua
that Lions
showed
game,
he could
absolutely
come
Back.
back.
That was a
Multiple
regular
No,
season game
but-
with
but-
a horrible
but
coach
the
Ravens team.
difference, the difference in the conditions and the manner of the games matter too.
Yeah, that is true. Hey, listen, when I say the conditions of the game, like the weather, that shit matters, man. That shit matters. That shit matters.
The next name I got for y'all, Dak Prescott.
Dak, taking Dak,
I'll take that.
taking Dak. Wait. Time out. Wait. You choose Dak. We won't choose Kyler?
Over Kyler, of course.
Kyler better than Dak.
What?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Kyler better than Dak.
Hell no.
Man, I don't know what he.
Hell
Listen,
no.
He not a Kyler fan, bro. He not
You don't
a
like
fan.
Kyler?
Kyler
cool.
is not
Kyler
good.
cool. What you mean? That's a
He's
TikTok clip.
cool.
What you mean? Kyler
I
cool,
like-
man.
I like
Cool.
Kyler.
He's
I
not
like Kyler.
groundbreaking. He's not leading Arizona nowhere. No.
He hasn't
Who-
really had anything aside from the year
who
they
you
went
got,
7-0.
What?
He hasn't really had anything like that.
Well, hello, y'all. Hold
Kyler
on.
has
Who
had
you got,
every
Rio?
opportunity. He chose Call of Duty Warzone over football.
You can say the same thing about Dak.
I cannot say the same thing about that.
Yes, you
I don't
can.
even like. I don't like that. He's way better
Hold
than
on,
Kyler.
hold on, wait, y'all hold on. Rio, who you choosing, Dak or
Can't
Tua?
believe this.
Oh
Like-
man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sticking to it, man.
Oh man.
I'm sticking with Tua.
Ooh, man, I respect it. All right, so this is gonna be an interesting one. Let's say Anthony Richardson.
Oh, I'm taking him.
I'm taking A Rich. I have to.
I'm taking him.
His upside is just so much better than Tua's, man.
Exactly.
Like,
I can agree right there.
he has a
Upside-wise,
top
Anthony
5
Richardson
ceiling
will get-
if they can
yes.
maximize it.
Definitely.
What you say, Rio?
No, yeah. I'm going AR-15.
If the
For
Colts
sure.
could somehow, some way, if they could just keep him healthy, get a decent, another decent receiver that can switch the game up, I think it is. I think the Colts would be able to do something. Seriously.
Okay. All right, so last name I'm gonna hit y'all with, and it's been a popular discussion since they was drafted. Justin Herbert.
Definitely.
Herbert, yeah, Herbert.
Definitely. Definitely.
Nope. No, sir.
Nah, you trolling. You gotta be trolling.
Herbert
Nah,
is
Wait,
100
hold on, wait.
times better
Larry, hold on, wait,
Tua
come on. Let me
Tagovailoa.
make sure. Hello, wait. Let me make sure I get it on camera. So who you taking, Rio?
I'm taking Tua over Justin Herbert.
Well, you going on TikTok? I'm not gonna lie. You going on TikTok?
That's fine.
You can-
Hey, listen. That's fine. You could tag me. You could do whatever. I don't care.
So Larry, can I ask you?
Of course.
Why do you like Anthony Richardson's upside? Like why do you like him over Tua?
I feel like this is today's age quarterback. Big arm. I feel like you could work on accuracy in the NFL if you get a quarterback the right tools and mechanics, get him the good coaching, and the ability to escape the pocket and make runs, give you 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man, I gotta take that over Tua.
So did you not just describe Kyler Murray?
No, I did not describe Kyler Murray.
Exactly Kyler Murray.
I did not describe Kyler Murray because what I just described. You know what Kyler Murray is? Kyler Murray is a very fast Doug Flutie.
Oh no, that's gross. That's
yes,
so
he is,
gross.
bro.
You described Kyler, bro.
Kyler Murray
I got
is
a
a
question.
very fast Doug
I'm not
Flutie.
gonna lie.
Kyler Murray is not.
I'm
not going to give him the same love I gave Drew Brees.
Larry allergic to short people. That's what it is. He allergic.
Listen,
Hey,
I got a question, man. I got a question.
Good.
What happened with the Chargers versus the Dolphins game?
Which time when Herbert had closed the game on us, or when Tua had won,
or when Tyreek had like the game of the century?
Yeah, I'm talking about the game this season.
Oh yeah, Tua made the plays and Herbert didn't.
He made a throw. He made a throw.
Exactly.
That was week 1.
Exactly.
If I'm giving anybody on that offense credit, and Tua did play great, let's not act like Tyreek had 215 on them boys.
But who threw him the ball?
I gave Tua his credit, but Tua still wasn't even the best offensive player on that field.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He was never the best offensive player this whole year.
Nah. But like, I get what you mean, but
man, he led the league in passing.
That's so nasty. That is so nasty.
He led the league in passing yards, but
come on, man. Like
he was surrounded by a very great receiving core.
He has the best wide receiver. He has the best wide receiver in the league to go to, man.
With a top 20
who does the Chargers have at receiver right now?
Fucking old Keenan Allen, Joshua Palmer, no hands, Quentin Johnson, old ass Eckler, injured Mike Williams.
They supposed to be releasing Mike Williams too.
And it's great, bro. They can't stay healthy.
It sounds like I'm making excuses for Justin Herbert, but he hasn't had consistent healthy guys.
He should. He deserves the excuses.
Nah,
he don't.
His whole team.
He don't deserve.
He don't deserve.
He should have been drafted from the get-go.
No, man, he don't deserve the excuses.
Nah,
after this year, people were complaining about him having a head coach. There better be no complaining this year if they don't win the division.
The man threw 20 touchdowns and 7 picks, but we're calling him ass.
I'm not calling him ass, but
I'm talking about not y'all folks. I'm talking about like the opinions on Justin Herbert and saying he overrated the things and such.
No, I mean when you have Brandon Staley as a head coach, I mean shit.
I'm gonna say this about Herbert, man. If it don't get done this year, I'm done with the excuses, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm done.
I'm done.
He gonna drop Herbert up the top 10, bro.
I've been done with the excuses.
If he can't get it done this year with Harbaugh and Harbaugh bringing in his players and his staff, yeah, bro. At some point, we got to call a spade at some point.
They probably gonna draft
Justin Herbert will have 4,300 yards, 39 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
Nope.
I mean, he might.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
I hope Tyreek don't miss a game so he can finally hit 2K because I feel like we were gonna get that. That shit pissed me off.
Sean Murphy Button is the dirtiest player in NFL history. Stamped up.
History is crazy.
I mean, have you seen Aqib Talib?
He cheated a 2,000-yard season.
Have you seen? Did you watch Aqib Talib?
Yeah, of course. I saw the chain snatches and everything.
I mean, shit.
But Sean Murphy Button.
Have you seen Ryan Clark?
It's a linebacker. What's that linebacker, bro?
Vontaze Burfict.
Yes,
Vontez
that
Burfict was
boy
definitely
right there
dirty.
is a demon.
When I
He is a demon.
say he the dirtiest player, I'm just saying in the sense that he cheated a historic season
Right.
because Tyreek was never the same after that.
I get what you're saying, but let's we're gonna close out the show, y'all. So I'm gonna hit y'all with one last topic that I wanted to just get y'all opinions on. Y'all could just do like a little quick fire. So now I know me and Larry don't share the same beliefs, but I think me and Lewis do though. So I went live like I want to say before the Bills game. If not the Bills game, it was the Tennessee game. And I had posed a question. I said, if Mike McDaniel doesn't win another game, does he need to be fired? Now, they didn't win another game. So now I'm asking, do y'all think Mike McDaniel's job is in jeopardy or he's okay?
We play up, bro. You can't have a team like this and not have a playoff win. I don't care. Like there's so many coaches that would. I guarantee if we had a guy like Bill Belichick here, bro, we probably win a playoff game. Real shit.
Woo!
Like this team, bro.
No.
This team. I'm not saying go out and get Bill Belichick. I'm just saying if we had a coach with. The thing is, this team is too talented to not win a playoff game. Like you got arguably the best corner in the league. You got arguably the best wide receiver in the league. Like you maximize Tua. We know what Tua is. You have a very good rushing attack. Like when healthy, the D line is really good. There's no way you shouldn't win a playoff game, especially when Buffalo was probably the most vulnerable we would probably ever have them at, and you still didn't win the fucking playoff game, or not playoff game, but you still didn't win the division or whatever. And we played Kansas City and probably the most vulnerable they've ever had, bro. This is no excuses. We need a playoff. We need a playoff win. Make the divisional. Matter of fact, win the division. That's what we need. Win the division, and if you don't win the division, get to the divisional round because it's ridiculous to have this stacked of a team and not have anything.
All right, Larry, what you say?
I feel like McDaniel is our coach, man. That's our coach. That's who led us to back-to-back winning seasons. Well, 3 straight winning seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
it's two? Okay. But I feel like McDaniel is our coach. I feel like if anybody of the 3 with Greer, Tua, and McDaniel, we need to believe in McDaniel 100%. Because McDaniel gave and showed us something we have never seen. An offense that can score and can produce. We're there, we're on the cusp, but we gotta stay healthy and we gotta put the right pieces together. May have to find the right quarterback, may have to get him at a cheap price. Who knows? But
all right.
I feel like McDaniel is the answer.
I'm siding with Larry on that, and 100%, 100,000%, because like, man, he brought so much swag, and his young, like, he's drawing in players. Players want to play for McDaniel, man. Believe it or not, people want to play for that man. And his whole demeanor and how he coaches, it's like, and you don't have to, be like a Vic Fangio or a Belichick or, those old school coaches and be honed in on one thing and this and that, da. You have to get your players comfortable. Player personnel is important. The more comfortable your players is with the coaches, sometimes it may mesh, but McDaniel is not the type that he would, let players run over him. He's going to let them know, hey, at the end of the day, we're going to have fun with this shit, but you got to do your job at the end of the day. And I've seen that watching Hard Knocks, and y'all know it's a show or whatever, but I've seen that from him, and myself as a player, like, I understand, like, it matters about coaching and the type of coaching, and he's going to try to put you in comfortable situations where you could play your game at the best of your ability, the way you could play it the best. And I feel like that's the type of coach he is, and that's what he brings to the table. And since he's been here, we've been winning. Yeah, we haven't been winning a lot more, than like our expectations, but he's been winning. He's been winning. So I feel like, man, listen, until I shit turn 35, I wouldn't mind him being a coach. We just got to have the right players and we have to have the right pieces. And that's what we're missing. It's pieces that we're missing, especially from the offensive side. And the O line is a big part of that.
All right, so let me play devil's advocate. So wouldn't you say this is similar to Mike Tomlin, where we're just fine with just a winning season and don't give a fuck what happens after that? At some point, like winning these regular season games are cool, but we need to win these playoff games. Like we just can't be content. Like I get it, Mike McDaniel came here, made an immediate impact, and led us to 2 straight playoff berths. That's cool and all, but it gets to a point where that can't just be good enough for us. That's like similar to Mike Tomlin. People like Steelers fans have been so content with just, oh, he still hasn't had a losing season. Like for us, we just can't, like it comes to a point where now it's like, okay, like now as Dolphins fans, we finally feel what a winning season felt like again, and then again. Now we're hungry where it's like, okay, we don't want this no more. We want a playoff win. So like, wouldn't you say that's kind of like the same thing?
Now let me answer your question with this.
Go ahead.
When you look at both times we went to the playoffs under McDaniel's tenure, I'm sorry. The first game against Buffalo, a completely healthy Buffalo, by the way, and Buffalo. Skylar Thompson is starting your game
and lose by 3.
We have to be fair with McDaniel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Tua was hurt. Now I give Tua I'll give him a lot of BS. If Tua was playing that game, especially with how that defense was playing, we are going to the next round, bro. Now let me fast forward. This season, not making any excuses because at the end of the day, I'm a Dolphins fan. So I cuss them boys out too. But we in the weather or whatever. We folded the division. That unfortunately we did. But we in the weather, we doing all that. The whole defense is hurt. How many starters out? 9? 8?
To be fair, though, for what we had, the defense played
good enough.
The defense played good enough for the offense to try to do something, and Tua played like fucking shit.
That's where I come in with that. Why he needs to be replaced because the it factor isn't completely there. Mike McDaniel already showed I can create a quarterback in this system.
Yeah.
Why would I not just replace the quarterback and say, "Hey, man"? It's like a girlfriend you want to get rid of.
Oh shit!
Damn, man, I fuck with you, but shit, you ain't elevating me. I gotta go get this other guy, this young guy who gonna buy in, or a veteran who know how to sling that. Get my offense, man. We gotta get to the playoffs, further in the playoffs, because teams are scared of playing us.
So let me ask you something. So with this small window we got, right? And you said you want a quarterback that can sling that thing or whatever to maximize everything that we got. Would you take Kirk Cousins on a 1-year deal?
I would take Kirk Cousins on a 1-year deal. If we can't get Tua on a deal that's favorable for us, we have to worry about us in our quarterback situation. Not give our all to a quarterback who hasn't shown his it factor. Right. I feel like Tua elevated himself, or he caught this high as a quarterback when he came back as a freshman against Georgia. And I feel like he's just like, man, that's my high. I'm straight now. No, bro, not on the Dolphins. You need to go do that somewhere else.
Okay. Now let me just intervene, and after this we're gonna close out the show because we at the 2-minute mark. But so let me just say this. I am all for being fair and consistent, and all to give Mike McDaniel all the credit in the world. He came in, he introduced a new culture, he changed his team around. This is one of the most, if not the most dynamic offense we've had in back-to-back years in a long time.
In a long time. Especially in our lifetime.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. I got to give him credit for that. And I'm not going to dismiss that, and I'm not going to belittle it. But however, I cannot ignore the red flags that are there. And I've said this once and I say it again. It's certain things you can't learn on the job. It's either you know it or you don't. And one of those things is, to me, is managing players and managing games. You can learn to get better at it for sure, but the problem with McDaniel is when he is in games, decisions to be made in moments. For example, sticking with the rushing attack, just keep running the ball when it's working. He consistently gets away from that, and it's because that's not who he is. Even though you signed to him to be that, it's not who he is, and that's an issue because you have the ability to run the ball, and they get away from it too often, and that's on top of the fact that, in my personal opinion, he's a little too reliant on his star players. He's not drawing up game calls or play designs, to get other players involved, as well as being able to get other guys going so everyone can not only get involved in the game, but so that way you can create space for other players. Because I've said this early in the show, man, like the biggest reason why Cedric Wilson and Braxton Berrios and these other guys aren't producing is because they're not good enough. It's because their numbers aren't getting called. That's just what it is. If you're not getting targeted twice at the very least, how in the world am I going to expect you to even produce if you're not getting your number called? And it's not like Tua not seeing them. No, these guys are fourth options on route concepts every play. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle every play are the first and second options. They are. That's just what it is. Now, should they be? Of course, they're talented. They're the best you got. So more often than not, the ball goes where they wave. But that doesn't mean other players can't get involved. And my biggest gripe with Mike McDaniel, and I've said this before, I hate how he manages players, whether it's how he coddles them or whether it's how he doesn't know when to just accept defeat. He's gotten to unnecessarily hitting multiple times in multiple games, like against the Raiders, or like when Tua had threw a unnecessary ass pick six against the Jets when they didn't need to throw the ball. Just nail the ball and take the ball into half. That's on coaching just as much as that is a bad throw. Because why are we throwing the ball with 40 seconds left in the half? You're up 10. Just nail the ball and go into the half. It doesn't make sense. And that's on top of, and I've already told y'all this before, it pissed me off so bad when Bradley Chubb got hurt in a game that was literally already lost.
D-Rosed them. D-Rosed them.
It was literally 28 points, a 28-point deficit. It's 3 minutes left. Why are the starters in the game, bro? Why? That's coaching. It's certain things you cannot teach. And I get it again. He came in, implemented an offense that works, is good. But the problems is the offense does not travel well. It doesn't. It just, we see that now. Whenever they on the road, they struggle greatly. It's a night and day difference. And on top of that, when you step up in competition in general, you don't look that damn good. So that's on coaching as well as the players, but as well as the fact that he simply put his mismanagement of games is costing his teams just as many games as the players are who are blowing the games. And he has to take a large chunk of that. So I'm not going to sit and tell you he for sure should be fired because I don't think so. I think at the very least he got next year. But if it don't work next year, there's no reason at all to sit here and believe he should stay. There's just not. Because he was hired to fix Tua, which he has to his credit. Tua is a much better player.
He maximized Tua.
Yeah, he's maximized him for sure. But the problem is now, both of these guys seem like when the moment gets big, one can't make the throws and one can't make the correct play calls. So that's not a good marriage to have. So someone has to give at some point.
And if we sign Tua to the extension, we already know the person that's going to give is Mike McDaniel.
Oh, look, if Tua get an extension, Mike McDaniel here for another 10 years.
I ain't gonna lie. I'd rather start a "We Want Shedeur" hashtag. I'm not even gonna hold you at this point.
You'll replace Tua with Shedeur Sanders?
At this point, hell yeah.
Will he come out next year?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be it for the episode, guys. Appreciate those who tuned in, commented. Appreciate y'all for showing love, man. appreciate y'all boys coming through and showing love. Much
course, of
appreciated.
course.
Appreciate you, gang.
For sure.
Y'all go ahead. Y'all can let the people know where to find y'all. Lewis, you can go ahead and go first.
Sports TikTok, Super Mighty Mouse Lou. Follow me on there. Talk Dolphins, wrestling, UFC, Heat. Cartoon TikTok, Lewis Knows Tunes. Talk about all things cartoons and Power Rangers over there. So definitely follow me on there. Appreciate Last Word having me out here.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Always. Larry, you got anything?
Amen. Dolphin Super Bowl. That's it.
Shit.
What about you, Rio?
Nah, man, yeah, appreciate us, appreciate you for having us on here, man. Like, yeah, we should do this more often. You know, we are real Dolphin fans. We gonna say some real stuff. Also, we gonna say things we think. So, but yeah, man, yeah, appreciate you for having us, man. We should do this again.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'm gonna start going back live. We're gonna start doing this I'm gonna try to do it every week. And so it's gonna be Saturdays for sure. But so yeah, so for those who don't know, y'all can follow me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Last Word Productions all over. I also got an anime page if y'all into anime, the _ the Black Sasuke or That Boy T. And I got a gaming page. So you can find me on there. I'm all over TikTok. But that'll be it for us, guys. Appreciate y'all, and we out.
Sure.
Let's go.